Hey, welcome to The Explainer. You know that feeling when you're watching a movie and it looks like a movie? There's this rich, polished, intentional quality to it that you just don't get from a home video. So what is that secret? What's going on behind the scenes? Well, today we're going to deconstruct it. Yeah, that's the big question, right? What is that magic ingredient, that secret sauce that turns a simple recording into a real cinematic experience? It's something you can feel in your gut, even if you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Well, it turns out it's not some fancy new camera or a special effects filter. It's actually a whole philosophy, a set of core principles that filmmakers have been following for decades. And a lot of those ideas, they come from one single, indispensable resource. And here it is. Our source for today's explainer points us right to this book, The American Cinematographer Manual. And in the film world, people call it the Filmmaker's Bible. Seriously. And for good reason. It pretty much lays out the entire craft of visual storytelling. According to the manual, the whole art of the moving image really stands on three, let's call them foundational pillars. And today, we're going to break down each one: the camera, the light, and the color. All right, let's dive into pillar number one, the camera itself. And you've got to stop thinking of it as just a device that records things. It's more like an artist's brush. It's the tool you use to capture the world and decide exactly how your audience is going to see it. And check out the definition here. They make a point to say it's both art and science. And that's key. Because yeah, it's super technical, but every single one of those technical choices, every setting, every button press, it's all done to serve the story. It's all about making a specific choice to create a specific feeling. So what does that really mean in practice? Well, it's about choosing the right lens. Do you use a wide lens to make a character feel totally small and alone? Or a long lens to crush the background and make things feel claustrophobic? It's about deciding what's in focus, literally telling the audience, hey, look here. And of course, it's about framing every single shot to create a beautiful and meaningful picture. Okay, so once you've got a handle on the camera, we get to pillar number two. And this might just be the most powerful tool a filmmaker has: light. There's a reason people call cinematography painting with light. Lighting is so much more than just, turning on the lights so you can see stuff. It's about sculpting the world with light and, just as importantly, with shadow. It's what gives an image depth, drama, and atmosphere. Sometimes what you don't light is the most important part of the shot. I mean, think about it, right? Hard, direct light can feel really harsh, almost like an interrogation. But soft, gentle light feels romantic or maybe dreamlike. You can use one single light to cast these dramatic shadows on a character's face, hinting at some inner conflict. Light is telling its own story, completely separate from the dialogue. All right, on to our third and final pillar, color. If light is what sculpts the image, then color is what gives that image a soul. It's this silent, almost subconscious language that speaks directly to our emotions. I know, color encoding sounds super technical, doesn't it? But the goal here is purely artistic. It's about taking all that color information the camera captures and then deliberately shaping it to push the story forward. You're trying to create a specific, unified color palette for the whole film. Think about a film that uses those warm, golden colors. It instantly makes you feel nostalgic, right? Or what about a movie with a cold, washed-out blue look? You just feel that sense of dread or loneliness. None of this is an accident. That color strategy is planned out from day one to make sure every single frame is hitting the right emotional note. So we've got our three pillars: camera, light, and color. But here's the thing. They don't work in isolation. The real art of all this, the true craft of cinematography, is weaving them all together for one single powerful purpose. And this, right here, is maybe the single biggest takeaway from the source material. The entire point of mastering the camera, the light, and the color while you're shooting is to create what the manual calls a strong foundation for editing. You can't just say, we'll fix it in post. The magic has to be captured right there in the camera. So you can see how the whole workflow just builds on itself. First, you master your tool, the camera. Then you paint with light. Then you infuse it all with emotional color. And what you get at the end is this powerful, flexible footage that gives the editor everything they could possibly need to put together a masterpiece.
And that's really the secret, you know? That cinematic look isn't a trick or a filter. It's the result of incredible discipline and artistry. It's what happens when every single choice about the lens, the lighting, the color is all working together in perfect harmony to serve one thing, the story.
Which kind of leaves us with this one big question, doesn't it? With all this talk about technology and manuals and rules, where does all the technical stuff end? And where does the pure human art of storytelling actually begin? Or maybe they're both the exact same thing. Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.